There's definitely a lot of changes happening to the league all at once, and it's affecting it, especially structurally. But Carmelo Anthony right here not only acknowledges it, but speaks on a lot of the cultural cachet that led him as well as his peers such as LeBron and the backlash it has now caused from the NBA owners, where they're seeing the new generation of players actually lose their leverage year over year. Teams are moving off of guys who've made multiple All-NBA appearances and still have value throughout the league even before the age of 26. It's almost as if the guys from that player movement era are now realizing the repercussions are going to be reflected on today's players.
And it was hard to reach back and talk to another player or young player, because we didn't have that. Nobody told us how to do this shit. We came in and ruffled the feathers and like kicked the door down.
Yeah.
And we made people look at like, oh shit, we gotta watch these motherfuckers right here.
And Melo's referring to coaches like Larry Brown, George Karl. They already didn't like the dynamic Allen Iverson was having in Philly, just holding all that power. By the time Carmelo Anthony and LeBron James came into the league, that's when for the first time, NBA franchise stars had more cultural cachet with their organization than their head coach. Every other rookie since that draft class has instantly been given the keys to the franchise. Let's keep that in mind. Carmelo Anthony and LeBron, just a few years before they came into the NBA, Kobe Bryant was not given the same leeway. That's how much the league had shifted. LeBron James just had so much media hype, and Carmelo Anthony winning the national championship as a freshman, they just had so much cultural cachet coming into the league, it was undeniable.
We came in and ruffled the feathers and like kicked the door down.
Yeah.
And we made people look at like, oh shit, we gotta watch these motherfuckers right here. Everybody was scrambling when we came in the league. And we had to really make our mark. It was your team, it was you and your team, that's it. So it's easy to become a narrative, right? When it's just you, your team. Because I gotta do the bulk of what I'm known for. So I'm not a I told you so type of guy, you know what I mean? But because you go through situations, the way that the situations is handled will never change. So you just know it's happening. It's happened before me, it happened to me, and it's gonna continue happening. That's just the nature of the beast.
They ain't showing no love.
So when you look at
this shit,
and it's even more quicker now. It's even more ferocious now because they don't have the patience no more. Because that money make you have less patience to deal with shit. If you ain't ready to go right away as a young player, you on a hot seat.
On to the next.
If you ain't producing, it ain't like you signed a 4-year deal and it might take you a year to get your feet wet, and the second year you come back.
Ain't no year to get your feet wet.
Nah, hell no.
You gotta be ready now.
You gotta be ready to go now. So when you start talking about just innate, like how the game is going, is really fucked up on how the game is going. So I told a lot of guys, because you in my position, I only can speak because you in my position. So I can talk to you because you're in my position. AD, Russ, CP.
Melo right here is acknowledging the cultural shift. These guys used to hold a lot of power and leverage in the league. That's why I said the NBA is slowly moving towards that NFL style, and these are the first examples that we're seeing of it. AD is fighting for that extension, and he used to be one of these players that just has so much leverage that while in the middle of a contract with the Pelicans, he forced that trade to the Lakers. Even being signed to Rich Paul and Clutch Sports is not going to save his ass from just the way the league is moving nowadays.
It's old niggas.
Russ holding on though.
Russ holding on
to Sacramento.
And I'm just saying,
they put my guy on a non-guaranteed.
I'm just saying, you see it happen. You see it unfolding.
Yeah, a non-guaranteed just for a fucking season. God damn. The way things are set up nowadays, it's not only affecting the top guys, especially with that 65-game rule. It even affects the guys at the very end of the bench, the last 3 roster spots, who normally would be players on guaranteed contracts. Teams nowadays, they're juggling these two-way players. I believe they can only play 55 games until they have to get a guaranteed contract for the rest of the season. And make no mistake about it, the second apron rules is affecting that. Teams are using this as a loophole to stay in that gray area. Matter of fact, the Knicks, during the preseason, they capitalized off of just having multiple players on non-guaranteed contracts to initiate that trade for Karl Anthony Towns. They had players on pending contracts, then they gave them a full contract and traded them.
You just look at what's happening in the landscape and you just see it unfolding. DeMar, Zach LaVine. Like this shit is about to start unfolding for a lot of them.
They get the new generation out quick.
Shit,
I mean, the old
Draymond.
generation out quick.
Draymond, you see the shit he said the other day, like, and that's real shit. I'm heart and soul of this shit.
And that's facts.
I'm the heart and soul of the Warriors organization. Y'all ain't about to do that. Like, let's have a little bit more respect in that.
The Warriors are a team that just don't have that much breathing room to keep dipping into that second apron because of Stephen Curry's contract. So if they are going to pay luxury tax, they want to be fully in the mix. Again, them second apron rules is putting a lot of pressure even after you sign your superstar to a Supermax deal. It's putting a lot of pressure on teams to either fully commit to be in a winning situation or to bow out and choose to make decisions based off of money. The middle ground is slowly being withered away.
I see both sides.
No.
I can't be
too
upset.
No. Because if I got a plan, if I'm a GM and I got a plan, and this is my plan, I got a solid plan, 4 years plan of me being the GM. Nothing could fuck my plan up. I don't give a fuck win, loss, and different. You can't fuck my plan up.
Right.
Now I can make little adjustments within you can't fuck my plan up. You can't fuck my overall 4-year plan up. So to make these quick decisions like that, unless it's gonna change my trajectory of where I'm trying to go, I ain't pulling no triggers like that. And that's what's happening now. The fans has an influence. The media has an influence. Money has an influence. And what's going on out here? Every year there's a trade. Like as far as like, should he or should he not be traded? Like the best player on every team.
Right.
It's like why are we going through that?
Once again, that's that second apron putting a lot of pressure on teams, especially when owners see themselves paying into luxury tax every season. The Lakers are going to be in this scenario once they give Luka that 10-year supermax, paying him $70 to $80 million plus every single year, putting them easily into the luxury tax as Rob Pelinka would have to put good talent around him. That's another added pressure to most NBA front offices. If they don't know what the fuck they're doing, it's going to get exposed real quick. They can't just throw on all the pressure on the superstar to make everything happen. Matter of fact, outside of that Luka example with him just about to be a 10-year vet, even the young players are being affected when they finally get their first supermax contract, as the time is coming up for guys like Paolo Banchero, even though he's only 2 years into that deal. Once teams start to realize they hit a ceiling with a player, they're going to start to pivot off of them real quick. We could use Ja Morant as another example.
There's a sizable amount of Laker fans that I know that are like ready to get rid of. Like that would have been cool if Bron got traded at the trade deadline.
That's fine. That's
I think
cool.
that's a little crazy.
It's cool.
That's crazy.
It's like,
That's
yo,
cool,
you mean
bro.
to tell me there's no value you can get out in the trade at the trade market that is more valuable as a franchise than LeBron's final years as a pro on your team.
Look, bro, listen. What he's doing, he's living long enough to be a villain. Like,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? Like, that's what he's doing. Like, he's doing everything at the top, still at the top of the top. Like, still holding this league down. This league don't move without Bron. I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
That's a fact.
It don't move without Bron
Absolutely.
until he's gone. Right? So his position in this game is bigger than just these wins and losses throughout the course of the season.
Yeah.
I got to hold. You're not coming against my plan. I got to get my body right. This is my plan, and I got to stick with my plan. So if you're gonna be mad at him leaving LA, fuck are you mad about? You see it writing on the wall, man.
Right. No, I mean,
because of the influence that's out there.
Yeah.
Y'all pushing him out in a sense.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all pushing him out. Y'all never accepted him in LA anyway from the beginning. So he did what he did, being who he is, and did it his way. So the motherfucker should be at this point, year 23, 24.
23.
I should be able to do whatever the fuck I want to do. Like,
If I want to go back to Cleveland, I'm going back to Cleveland.
And that era with LeBron James just doing what the fuck he wants to do is structurally over in the NBA. You know, it would have been interesting to see if the Lakers had really put him on the trade block, how many other teams would be interested. Again, half the NBA teams have been sold since 2019. So under new ownership, them spending all those billions of dollars, they are not doing that in order to have a guy come in and dictate their business. Those days are over. You see right there where the NFL style model is slowly starting to creep in.
I mean, speaking of a narrative, a guy like Cam Thomas, I mean, he literally just got waived today.
It's crazy.
Put under a narrative of
crazy.
And it's just like that. The kid got so much talent, bro. Yeah. Like, all he needs is the right coaching, the right system, the right way to harness his talent. Like, he's a productive player in this league. He's shown it. Waived.
It's crazy.
Why? Because they think he's selfish on an already ass team.
Jonathan Kuminga almost fell victim to the same thing, but he got devalued in the open market by the Golden State Warriors, just making public statements saying that he doesn't play the right way. Even his teammates came to his defense, Stephen Curry and Draymond Green, because they are noticing the power shift.
Because they think he's selfish on an already ass team. Like, huh? Y'all ass, and you found a way to label somebody selfish?
You want him to be
What's he doing?
You want him to be able to fit.
He's sticking out
within the system of being ass.
You want him to stick in with everybody being ass. I hate this shit, bro. Let's really think about this shit, man.
There's nothing you can say.
My shit down to be ass. To fit in, to be ass. With the rest of the ass. Like, this shit crazy, man.
20-point per game scores don't grow on trees.
You
man.
feel me?
Especially
like,
when the team is already terrible. Yeah.
Consistently. And like I had a conversation about this before with Gil and them. Like, the narrative, like, it's just easy to average a lot of points on a bad team. That's not a real thing.
Right.
You don't see that all the time, bro. Like, there are cases, but you mean to tell me you think that a guy's averaging 28 a game on a so-called bad team, you think it's gonna drop to 12 when he gets on a good team? Like, you can't make me believe that that's not the case. Now, if the numbers support it, you shooting 38, you making a lot of points. Then he's probably a ball hog. He just jacking shots. The numbers are supported.
Right.
But we talking about a dude that's really getting to it. You flirting around 50%.
Yeah.
You the best player on a bad team. You getting all the attention on defense.
Yeah.
That's
and
not
still scoring.
That don't really add up to me. Like,
and at some point,
that's even harder to do.
At some point, coaching got to step in too, where it's like, yo, you are one of the best in your profession in the world at this. Like, shouldn't you be able to make this work for your team? Like,
I am. And I am. That's what he gonna say. I am.
Right.
I am. You know why? Because I just drafted 5 motherfuckers that I want to develop. Right. So I'm not in the rush to get where Cam want to go right now. I'm not in the rush. I am.
And you could tell where the kid mind at right now. He's chasing. He wants to be great, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not.
He ain't out here like he doesn't want to fit in.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I hope the kid get another chance. And
that's a really good narrative right there.
That's crazy.
But a kid like that gonna go overseas and become a fucking legend.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh well, why didn't he wasn't that good? Yes, he was.
Nah, he's good. And most teams out there know he's good though. Most teams know
Beasley have the similar
bro,
situation.
it's a lot. It happens a lot. It really does. It happens a lot.
Like Melo just stated, most teams know that he's good. And he recently hit the restricted free agency market this past offseason. He wasn't asking for a ton of money, but yet the interest was low. Once again, that NFL culture is slowly creeping into the NBA. That's the only league where we see talented guys not necessarily get picked up by any team. Lamar Jackson, in the same season that he won the MVP, asked for a trade and didn't draw any interest from a single team. That shit is crazy. But DeMarcus Cousins is also speaking as a player where his team moved off of him real fast. He's really one of these guys that got the negative effects of the player movement. It just hit him the wrong way, even though he did hold all the power when he played for the Sacramento Kings. They notify him during the All-Star game presser that he was traded from the team. So that very same treatment that he received is slowly becoming the norm in today's league, even for the productive guys.
It's a lot of talent that gets overlooked in this league based off narratives. Mm-hmm. And the narratives may not even be necessarily close to the truth. You know, now some of them,
Yeah.
hey.
Cam issue, the only issue that he has right now is he should have signed that 4-year deal.
He should have. Yeah.
That's the only issue.
Mm-hmm. That may be true, but the NBA owners historically have always had issues with guys not necessarily re-signing with their same teams when their first real deal contracts come up. And it's built in. A prime example is Chris Webber opting out of his second year after being the first overall pick, going to the Washington Wizards. We've seen the NBA implement rules after that. Same thing for Julius Randle being the 7th overall pick. After he walked away as a free agent in his 4th year, he was somewhat punished on how much money he could sign for. Again, this shit has always been baked into the cake. Organizations do not want young talent walking away for nothing. And Cam Thomas's pushback is a threat to that. So just him having no interest in the open market didn't even make any sense. He wasn't asking for a ton of money.
You should have took that 4-year deal.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? And this is a thin line between betting on yourself and being
Crapping out.
and being smart though.
Right.
And you can still be smart and bet on yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, don't just bet all the way on yourself like that.
Man, some team is gonna pick him
Somebody else, another player who dealt with that, Dennis Schroeder, right?
Yeah.
Another player. And again, there's nothing wrong with betting on yourself, but be smart about betting on yourself too.
That's another great example, Dennis Schroeder. He's been regulated to just having all these 1-year contracts, even though teams use him as a marquee role player. I don't want to say this for certain, but we do see NBA organizations somewhat move a type of way with two kinds of players. Guys who refuse to sign their first true deal after their rookie extensions are up, and also players who have been bought out of a max contract. They regulate these guys to minimum deals afterwards. I believe Derrick Rose is the only player who went from a max and eventually got a mid-level contract from the New York Knicks. I don't want to say it's collusion, but damn, you start to see where that NFL style of that NFL culture is slowly creeping into the NBA. But it's always been there, just very subtle.
So Cam, that's another thing. They saying the same thing. Brooklyn, Cam, you should have took this 4-year deal.
Right.
You ain't take the deal, so you're not part of our plan anymore.
Right.
And that's what he's dealing with.
And
And
worse
also,
than
we
that,
can't have two of you niggas over here. We can't have you and MPJ over here. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, but why can't they make that work?
that's
why not put
I'm
some
saying this
talent
no.
to get in the end?
I'm saying
Why can't you put talent
we
on
think,
those
like, yo,
we
you
think
need
like
to-
that.
Yeah.
Fuck that. We about to get to it.
right.
They not thinking that.
I mean, what more do you...
And we gonna have to pay this nigga?
But here's
They're not thinking that because of the dollar amount and just the plans that they have going forward for all them damn draft picks that the Brooklyn Nets had made. But it is what it is. There's a lot of repercussions from the player movement. We've seen Kevin Durant sign an extension with Brooklyn, ask for a trade. Melo forcing his way out of Denver. LeBron didn't really do anything to contribute to this. He really exercised his right as an unrestricted free agent. But the perception is that he's just as guilty as guys like Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant, who are still in contracts, but yet bailed out on their teams. These issues are definitely multi-layered, and that's what really makes this whole Giannis to New York situation even more complicated. Not only their second apron rules that are going to be in effect, Jalen Brunson's pending upcoming contract, but you also got to notice that Giannis comes from that same era where guys came up in the league at a time where they just had so much leverage with the player movement. The real question is, do the Knicks really want someone like that on the team while he's aging and also has a pending Supermax extension? But you guys definitely check out the links in the description below, the NBA True Story playlist, and also the bonus videos with the hardwood nuances where we go over a lot of the on-court dynamics that's playing out throughout the season. Definitely hit up that playlist. You get a nice preview of all the videos, and you can further check that out on PanKnick.com or hit up Patreon. And until next time, you fellas stay safe. Peace.